library. Today, we're making rice pudding. So, come on down. So, what do you do if you've got a quart of leftover rice laying around? Well, rice pudding. So we're going to go over the ingredients real quick. These are very simple. I've got about 4 cups of cooked rice, 2/3 of a cup of brown sugar, half a cup of raisins, optional, but I like them. I've got a vanilla bean. Yes, you can use extract. I'm using a bean today. I've got a little bit of cinnamon, also optional. I've got a quart of whole milk and a cup of heavy cream. So this is a vanilla bean. If you've never worked with one before, these are the fruit of a tropical orchid that has to be hand pollinated. They only grow in a very few places on the planet. Mexico, Madagascar, and I believe Tahiti. So in order to use one of these things, get a paring knife and you're going to split it down the middle, and these should be a little on the leathery and flexible side. You're going to open it up, and you kind of got to get at there and scrape the seeds out with your knife. And the seeds are the part you're particularly interested in. There is some flavor in the pod. We're not going to waste that completely, but this is mostly what we're looking for. If you've ever gotten Breyer's vanilla ice cream and wondered what the little black flecks are, that's the vanilla seeds. So I'm going to start with the seeds from the vanilla pod. I'm going to throw the actual pod in there too. We can pick that out later. I've got the rice. If you don't have pre-cooked rice, you can start with a cup of dry rice and 2 cups of water and just cook it, and then use that. We're going to add 4 cups of milk. That's a whole quart. And 1 cup of heavy cream. That stuff's thick, so you want to make sure you get it all. And then we're going to add to that the 2/3 of a cup of sugar. I'm using brown sugar because I like the flavor. We're going to stir this together. We're going to take it over to the stove. We're going to bring this up to a simmer and cook it for a little bit. So I've got this on the stove over medium heat right now. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a stir here, make sure that the sugar is incorporated and that I'm breaking up any clumps of rice. Now you want to bring this up to a simmer, but you don't want to take that heat real fast. So we're going to go kind of slow on this, and this is going to take a little while. Does that look real soupy? It does. There's a lot of milk in there. That rice is going to absorb a lot more of that than you might think. We're going to wind up looking for a nice creamy texture on this. So when this stuff starts to come up to a gentle bubble like this, you're going to want to make sure you stir it, just to kind of keep everything from scorching to the bottom. You do not want a hard boil on this, and just keep stirring this, not necessarily constantly, but every couple of minutes for about 15 minutes. So at 15 minutes, you're going to see that this is thickened up quite a bit. We do want it to go a little bit thicker yet, so let's give it another 10 or 15 at this same heat level and just continue to stir that periodically until it thickens a little bit more. So this is about the consistency we're looking for here, about like good oatmeal. So I'm going to turn off the heat. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, which again is optional, but I like it, and ½ cup of raisins, also completely optional, but this is the way I like it. I'm going to go ahead and stir these in, and I'm going to put the lid on the pan and let this stand for about 15 or 20 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and serve this right now, because while it is still warmer than I would ordinarily do, I have been looking forward to this since I decided to make it. So we're going to put some of it in a dish, and we are going to top it with a nice generous sprinkle of fresh raspberries, because I have a ton of these things right now. Rice pudding, super easy. Give it a try.